Okay, let's get into this. You know that feeling, right? Someone's explaining synergy or why we must circle back.
Oh, absolutely. Or the classic blockchain is like a digital ledger
Well,
explanation.
exactly. And you're just nodding, maybe staring blankly, hoping it'll magically make sense.
Especially if it's like your boss getting super excited about NFTs or something.
Right, like they just invented fire. Well, you're definitely not the only one feeling lost sometimes.
It's almost universal, I think, that feeling of just being adrift and all the jargon.
Yeah. So that's what we're diving into today, our mission, if you will.
Okay.
How to handle those moments, those tech-heavy explanations, without feeling, completely overwhelmed or like you need a secret decoder ring.
Mm-hmm.
We've looked into some material covering, nonverbal stuff, some verbal tactics too.
And even what some of that corporate speak actually means underneath it all.
Think of it as your survival kit, just enough to get you through until you can sneak off and Google it later.
And it's interesting to think why this happens so much, right? It often signals some kind of gap.
A disconnect, yeah,
Yeah,
between whoever's talking and who's listening.
exactly. Hard to fix right in that moment.
Okay, so let's get practical. First up, the subtle art of nodding.
The nodding hierarchy.
Sources actually break this down. It's not just, up and down. There are levels.
It's amazing how much or how little communication happens just through a nod.
So level one,
Mm.
the polite nod. Slow, kind of rhythmic, steady, yeah. Translation according to the research, I do not hear you.
Huh, okay.
Apparently, this is the one to use when someone starts talking about, like, pivoting to Web3.
Right, the whole decentralized internet thing using blockchain and whatnot.
That slow nod just gives off this vibe of detached acknowledgement.
Like you're processing, but maybe processing your grocery list.
Totally. Then, level two, the convincing nod. This one's faster.
Faster, yeah, and maybe you throw in an or a yeah.
Exactly. For authenticity. But the real meaning,
Yeah.
a total lie. I absolutely get it.
Even if you're completely lost.
Especially if you're lost. Best used, apparently, for discussions on AI blockchain cloud solutions.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Combining AI, blockchain, cloud computing.
Oh, yeah. That little, really sells it, though, doesn't it?
It does. It's like performing understanding.
Okay, and the peak, the summit, level three, the out-of-body nod.
Oh, dear. What does that look like?
Eyes slightly glazed. Maybe a hint of just despair.
Acceptance of your fate.
Total acceptance. Usually happens during those, like, 30-minute jargon monologues.
Yeah, the brain just kind of checks out. Information overload?
Too many buzzwords, initiating shutdown.
Pretty much.
We actually found this listener story. Someone nodded so hard during a quantum computing explanation.
Oh, no.
Apparently got whiplash, but also a promotion.
Wait, really? Whiplash and a promotion.
That's the story. So maybe there's a weird upside.
That's hilarious. It really shows how sometimes just looking engaged is valued, maybe even more than actual understanding.
Perception is reality, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, but nodding only gets you so far. Eventually you have to, like, talk.
Right. You need some verbal strategies. Escape route.
Exactly, escape routes. First one, the smart noise.
The smart noise.
Yeah, saying something that sounds thoughtful, like fascinating, or maybe, wow, that's deep.
Ah, okay. Signals attention, but zero actual comprehension or commitment.
Maximum escape potential. Very vague, very effective.
They work because they're vague, right? You're not agreeing to anything specific.
Totally. Then there's the question dodge.
How does that one work?
You ask a really broad question, focus on a department, something like, interesting. How do you see this impacting, say, marketing or, whatever department?
Ah, clever. Shifts the focus right back to them.
And gives your brain a much-needed break. Lets you zone out for a bit.
It's a great deflection. Makes you look thoughtful, like you're thinking big picture.
While actually thinking about lunch. Okay, next. The sudden clarity lie.
Let me guess. You pretend you suddenly understand.
Bingo. You go, oh, okay, now it clicks.
While inside you're thinking?
Note to self, Google this immediately.
That aha moment.
Yeah.
It probably works quite often to just stop the explanation.
People figure, okay, they got it, moving on.
Right.
And here's a fun one, a pro tip from the sources for when you're really stuck.
Okay, I need this.
Give a little cough, lean in slightly and whisper, all this data. So powerful.
Seriously, so powerful.
Apparently, it grants you instant mystique. I'm kind of tempted to try it.
Huh. It taps into that whole big data thing, doesn't it? Vague, but sounds important. Creates an illusion of insight.
Okay, so we have nodding, we have verbal escapes.
Hmm.
But what about the jargon itself? Can we actually figure out what some of it means?
Well, sometimes the real meaning is a bit different from the surface meaning. Our sources had some translations.
Oh, good. Like when someone says, let's align.
What does that really mean?
Often, it's apparently code for, I don't agree with you, but honestly, I just don't have the energy to argue right now.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. It's got that passive-aggressive corporate vibe.
Well,
Align sounds collaborative, but...
but it isn't always. Okay, how about low-hanging fruit?
Ah, the easy wins.
Or translation, we are completely out of new ideas.
Ouch. Yeah, it frames easy stuff as big progress when maybe the big ideas aren't there.
And this one I love. Disruptive innovation.
Often means...
We copied a startup.
Huh. Yeah, sounds groundbreaking, but maybe the idea was borrowed.
Let's say inspired by. We even got a listener hack about this.
Yeah.
Someone said they just put paradigm shift in, like almost every email,
Right.
to stop people asking follow-up questions. They figure it sounds too important complex to question.
That is remarkably clever. Using jargon as a shield creates that illusion of deep thought.
Pure genius, right?
Yeah.
Okay, finally, let's do our listener challenge, a mission for you listening.
Spot the buzzwords in the wild.
Exactly. This week, we've got 3 targets for you. First, listen for Agile Scrum Framework,
Which is, a real project management method focused on flexibility, teamwork.
but often just thrown around, right?
Yeah.
It's a prime example of that jargon layering, buzzword on buzzword.
Yeah, people use it without always knowing the specifics.
Okay, target 2, listen for someone using incredible insight as their smart noise.
See if you can spot that verbal escape in action.
Notice the context.
Mm.
Are they really insightful or just filling silence?
Often it's the latter, avoiding deeper engagement.
And for the grand prize in jargon spotting this week,
What is it?
try to find someone who can genuinely explain digital transformation cloud synergy.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
We're filing that under wildest jargon you heard. I mean, digital transformation is about using tech to change business.
And cloud synergy implies those changes work well with cloud systems.
But together, it's just, whoa, a potent mix, often just a meaningless jumble.
Right.
And one last little story from the sources someone used. Let's table this in a meeting.
Okay, pretty standard.
Months later,
Yeah.
nobody could remember what this even was.
Huh. The jargon ghost.
They called it #JargonGhost. It served its purpose, delaying, then just vanished.
Shows how temporary some of this language is. Defers the issue, then fades away.
So look at that. You are now officially armed. You've got nodding strategies down.
Check.
You have verbal gymnastics, escape routes,
Check.
and maybe, just maybe, a slightly better grasp on what some of that corporate nonsense might actually mean or not mean.
Use your powers wisely.
Exactly. Use this newfound fluency for good. Or, just to get to the coffee machine faster.
Though, honestly, these strategies, while useful, they do kind of highlight a bigger issue, don't they?
Like what?
Like the need for just clear, simple communication. These tricks help you survive, but ideally we wouldn't need them so often.
True. Ideally, people would just say what they mean. But until then,
Until then, you have the toolkit.
you do. So go forth. And speaking of vital skills, our next deep dive is going to be crucial.
Oh, yeah. What's up next?
How to look busy when you're just online shopping.
Essential.
Subtitle, because deep focus, cart checkout. You don't miss it.
Definitely not. But it leaves us with a question for you to think about. Why does all this jargon and these kinds of coping strategies, why do they even become necessary in our workplaces? What does it say about how we actually share information and how well we understand each other?